Welcome and hello, mamas. I am so excited for today's video because I'm going to be taking you inside the inner workings of my organizational planner brain and show you exactly how I am mapping out our entire homeschool year. I'm Yael, by the way, if we haven't already met, and I'm a homeschooling mama of 3 mini humans. And if you love videos all about curriculum, resources, and eclectic home learning, as well as videos like this, you have come to the right place. So be sure to subscribe and enable those notifications so you don't miss what I have next just for you, mama. Full disclosure, this is my first time actually sitting down and planning out my entire homeschool year. Why? Because I started homeschooling in 2020 and y'all know how that went. It was just cray. Now that I have this first year of experience with homeschool under my belt, I am way more familiar with the type of planning that I need to do to make sure that everybody's needs are met and that our homeschool runs smoothly. I also had an idea of how I wanted it to look, how I wanted the layout of the actual planner to be so that it makes most sense for me. I have searched high and low for my unicorn planner, and I really didn't find something that fit exactly what I needed. So I decided to create my own, and the first couple of pages of my planner are available to you as a free printable below. So if you want to click on that, download it, and then come back to this video, we can fill it out together. My yearly plan for homeschool includes 5 different components. The first is our vision, mission, and goals for our homeschool. The second is curriculum, so being able to track all the different curriculum that we are planning to use. The third is looking at the entire first term of our homeschool year, which is for us comprised of the first 6 months. And here is where we lay out all the different important dates that we need to keep in mind, special events, trips, etc. Then we have a layout of our day-to-day flow and then daily tasks that we hope to accomplish on each of our days. Last but not least is our second term, and again, it's same thing as the first term, except it has the remainder of the months there. The first couple of things that are so important to address before mapping out your entire year are the vision, mission, and goals of your homeschool. This is something that I neglected to do this past year, and I really wish I had, because the vision, mission, and goals are going to anchor you throughout the year, and it's going to actually inform all of the decisions that you make when it comes to curriculum, when it comes to trips and extracurriculars. So let me give you a brief breakdown of what I mean by vision, mission, and goals, because I feel like everybody has a different idea. The vision of your homeschool focuses on the long-term goal. So what do you want to accomplish at the end of this homeschooling journey, and what do you want your children to accomplish? Ours is to raise women and men who prioritize love for God and others, who inquire and never follow blindly, and submit their gifts and talents to serve the Lord as He desires. If your kids are old enough to collaborate with you on this, I would highly recommend that you bring them into the process and collectively come up with a vision together. The last little thing that I will mention about the vision statement is that it's something you can always come back to and revise in the future as needed. As you know, children change, grow, and evolve in ways that we can't even imagine or expect. So there might be times where you come back to this vision and you might want to tweak it or change some things here and there, or even recast the vision entirely. After the vision statement is set, I write the mission statement, which really focuses on the why of your homeschooling, whom and how, and focuses on the here and now. So why are you homeschooling? What is the purpose right now? I'll share with you an example of our mission statement. Our homeschool mission is to lead and learn with love, to cultivate critical thinking, curiosity, and a love of learning, and to take hold of opportunities that will foster our gifts and talents. One thing you'll notice immediately is that our vision statement and our mission statement go hand in hand. So the idea is that together, the vision and the mission statement will really set the groundwork for everything else that we plan to do throughout our homeschooling year. Following the vision and mission statement, I like to come up with 3 overarching goals for the homeschooling year. I like to limit my goals at 3 because I feel like if I do any more than that, it's just going to be overwhelming and feel like I cannot accomplish anything. So 3 goals is my magic number. My goals are focused on some developmental things for my children and some overarching goals for our homeschooling family this year. I'll share with you an example. One of mine for our family is to develop a deeper sense of love and respect for ourselves and others. Once again, this also coincides with our vision and mission statements. This goal is not insurmountable for us. It's very accessible for our family. And it's also something that I can track in my personal homeschool reflection journal. The next page in the planner is dedicated to curriculum tracking. And this is something that I saw in other homeschooling planners and I really appreciated. I wanted to make sure that I laid out all the curriculum that we're using in all the different subjects, as well as the cost and the grade level, because it gives me a sense of where we're going as far as our academic learning and how we are able to stay within the budget that we have set for ourselves this year as far as curriculum and resources goes. Once I have a sense of the vision, the mission, the goals, and some of the curriculum that we're going to be using, I can look at our entire year, and I do so in 6-month chunks or terms. I don't know if I would consider myself a year-round homeschooler just yet, but it makes sense for me to think about the year this way. Because homeschooling is not just the schooling part, but it's very much the rest of your lives and how those two things intermingle, it just makes sense to look at your year in that way, at least for me. And so having things laid out like that is helpful for me in my planning. This first term page is dedicated to looking at the first 6 months. So for us, July through this December at a glance, and then planning for those important dates that we want to keep in mind. So things like birthdays, holidays, so on and so forth, as well as mapping out our attendance for each month and our absences. And I have a little legend here at the bottom that shows how you can map that out. Now, this is something that I saw in I believe it was a Simple Plan planner that I really, truly appreciated. So it's something that's not exactly the same, but it's very similar to that idea. And on the following page, we have our field trip planner and our extracurricular activities. I don't have a lot of spaces for it because for us, I like to keep things very simple and slow. And so I have enough spaces for us to be able to plan out a few field trips and extras throughout the year. And I can, because these 2 pages are together, I can look at them at the same time. That is so helpful for me and so helpful for my organization and strategic planning throughout the year. This layout really helps me to budget my time wisely with the kids and also think about how we can plan for breaks across 6-month periods. After this first year of homeschooling, I realized that I had underestimated the importance of taking breaks. It's so important to take breaks, y'all. There could be breaks for different reasons. Maybe you are planning to go on vacation or something like that, but maybe you just want to plan those days where you don't want to have to do school and you just need a break. I also have budgeted in some extra days, like sick days or days where it's like, we're definitely not schooling today. So we have budgeted about 9 to 10 days for those types of things. After the first term is planned out, I don't go to the second term, although I included it in the printable. Rather, I focus on how our weeks are going to look, how our days are going to look, and specifically, I mapped out our daily flow and then our daily tasks. In terms of the daily, weekly flow and the daily tasks, I did go ahead and type those things out, but in the free printable that's in the description, I have left plenty of space for you to go ahead and write those things in. The way that we like to schedule our homeschool days is on an A day, B day rotation. And honestly, the first time that we started to implement this, we had Monday, Wednesday, Friday as our A days, then our B days were Tuesday and Thursday. However, sometimes we'll have a couple of A days in a row, and sometimes we'll have some B days. But regardless, it's good to have this layout here. So when I'm looking at this daily flow and I know it's an A day, I can clearly see what are the different things that we're going to do during that day. What is the routine of that specific day? And the kids also know what to expect. So if I tell them that it's an A day, we have XYZ thing that we're going to do. This is the routine that we're going to follow on that day. Then I include a list of our daily tasks, which directly coincide with our daily flow for the A day, B day. So on the A day, we're really focused on that curriculum, one-on-one lesson time type of learning. And our B day is more like independent work, activities, some unschooling adventures, and things like that. If you'd like more detail on how this type of scheduling works for us and maybe a little bit more breakdown of this schedule, let me know in the comments and I will make a video all about that. Now, obviously, this routine, this schedule, this flow doesn't work perfectly every single time, but I can refer to it. It's something that we have set for ourselves. So if it's not working, I have something to refer to that I can change, right? But if I didn't plan that ahead of time, then it's really hard to get a grasp on what we're doing, how we're flowing, how we're moving. The final spread of the printable that I have created for you includes the second term at a glance layout. It's exactly the same as the first term. So you're gonna fill out all the dates and things like that. You're gonna fill out the trips and the activities, the extras, all of those things. In my personal planner, I do not want to think about the second term until probably the end of November. That is because what 2020 has taught me is to expect the unexpected. And I have no idea how our lives are going to change over the course of the next 6 months. And for me, not knowing how things are going to change and having to think about that second term is somewhat overwhelming. So my plan is to focus on the here and now, to think about this first term and the things that we're planning to do, roll with the punches when we need to, and once we get a hold of how our first term is going and we're at the tail end of it, that's when I am going to print this portion of the planner out and start planning our second term. I have also created monthly and weekly plans for myself that I'm not going to be printing out and looking at until the tail end of each month. Again, this is just something that I find works best for me. When I have a planner that is so thick and filled with pages, it's overwhelming, and I just want to think about 1 month at a time as far as the planning goes. All right, mamas, I am so thankful that you have joined me today, and I truly hope that you have gained some insights into how you can plan your entire homeschool year without being overwhelmed. If you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a great big thumbs up, a like, share it with someone who might also find this valuable and helpful, and also make sure that you do not forget to pick up your free printable of all these planning pages that I shared in this video if you haven't done so already. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.